What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly update. Hope everybody's having a lovely weekend so far. And with that being said, let's get into the video, guys. We have some pretty important stuff to talk about today, guys. At least I think a bunch of people are about to get bear trapped down here, and they're gonna bring this sucker up, and then a bunch of people are gonna get bull trapped up there, and then they're going to take this thing down, and everything's gonna go kapooey. All right, but I'm going to show you guys why we likely have a rally before what I just described. All right, so yeah, first I guess we could start off with that. I'm just going to show you guys, hey, not too long ago, we were over here in extreme greed. We were literally up here. All right, I remember looking at this and we literally had like a 73 or 74 reading. This was not too long ago. Now we are in extreme fear. Okay, you come over here and I just want to show you that we have seen the put to call ratio from the 3rd go from 0.59 to 1.11 as of the 10th. All right, so that was on the 3rd. All right, we're going to come over here to SPY. All right, and we're going to see where SPY was trading at on the 3rd, because this is kind of, this is crazy. All right, this is like what's going on behind the scenes. All right, this is the psychology of what's going on in the market. The people are panicking, all right, and that it's very freaking clear with what's going on over here with VIX. All right, but this was the 3rd right here, as you see. Okay, nothing to worry about. You just had a 1% update. You had followed by a 1.6% update. Boom, people are buying calls. All right, boom. All right, now flash forward to here, the 10th, and you now have over here, you're in extreme fear. All right, and you do have people loading up on puts, and that literally can be seen from VIX, because VIX moves up when puts are being bought and calls are being sold. It moves down when puts are being sold and calls are being bought. All right, so we know the only reason VIX can move up. So very clearly, people just FOMO'd into a ton of puts, which, I mean, I'm going to be completely honest, they have reason to do so. Okay, we do have systematic failure finally right here at our doorsteps. This is what I've been talking about for quite some time now, saying like, hey, it's not the raising of the interest rates that's going to cause the problems. It's just literally holding the high interest rates that's going to do all the damage. All right, eventually things are going to start breaking. Once one thing breaks in the system, then it's contagion. Then everything starts breaking the system. That's what we were waiting on. That's what was likely going to cause our capitulation event on VIX above 40. All right, and I think that is that's what we have starting. Okay. And yeah, it's before rates even they didn't even freaking get to 5% yet. So I don't know, guys. I guess the reason we are seeing yields end up falling, or not yields, but the federal funds futures rate over here. All right, we can just pull that up here. All right, we're gonna click on that. All right, we will click on, what have we been showing? I've been showing the August one for about a month now. All right, since it started rocketing over here. All right, and it's now it's completely cooling off. All right, and I think the reason it's completely cooling off is because, yes, all right, now the system is breaking and they can't continue to raise rates. I told you guys a while back that they can't physically Volcker the market anymore. They like literally don't have that option on the table, because the US would by default on its debt. Like, it wouldn't be able to make its debt payments. All right, so they can't Volcker us. They probably can't even bring rates above like the whole 6% is being talked about. I don't even think that would be possible. All right, but I mean, maybe it happens. Okay, I'm not going to claim to be an expert here. All right, I am 23-year-old. I'm not one of these 40 to 50 to 60-year-olds that's been around through all these market crashes. No, this is my first market crash, my first bear market that I am living through. And I guess I haven't lived through the market crash yet, unless you want to refer to this as the market crash. I guess this kind of is a market crash, or at least we are technically in a bear market, because we're down more than 20% from over here. We are just about to be re-entering the bear market, technically speaking. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. But I do think we do get that bounce, because we do have everyone panicking here. And we're going to show the charts, and we're going to show you guys why it's very likely to get that bounce. It just doesn't make sense not to get that bounce. That's what I'm getting at. All right. So yeah, let's start off here with the weekly charts. Okay. Over here with Mr. VIX. All right. You do have your CCI coming up to overbought territory over there. Your stochastic is crossed up over there. All right, I'm going to say right now, this isn't like one of these spikes where it took weeks and weeks to complete, 48 weeks there. No, this took 1 week. All right, and you spiked pretty massively there. I think it was like an 80% spike. Nope, not 80%. Terribly wrong. 50% spike in 1 week. All right, still not too shabby, if I do say so myself. All right, but yeah, I mean, coming over here to the weekly time frames over here on SPY, and actually, I'll start over here with QQ. QQ has not died off yet at all. All right, so VIX is up there already, but the QQ is still up here as well. All right, so I mean, guys, VIX could stay at elevated levels for quite some time now. I mean, either way, I'm expecting indices to cool off. I am expecting VIX to cool off from where it is right now. We'll go over that. All right, but for now, let's go over the weekly time from here. All right, yeah, on QQQ, guys, everything is still just overbought. We did have the bearish engulfing candlestick to close out the week on literally every single index here. We have QQ, we have SPY, we have IWM, we have DIA. Every single one of them got the bearish engulfing candlestick. I guess this didn't quite make the bearish engulfing candlestick, but it symbolized the same exact thing, and we did have that increasing sell volume considering panic was rolling in the streets. All right, blood is in the streets, guys. All right, I personally think a bunch of people are foaming into this and they're about to get squeezed before they send this thing down. All right, we're going to be looking over some history here on the charts. All right, yeah, actually, so we went over the weekly charts. Let's flash forward to the economic calendar over here before we go back into the charts. All right, just to review what we got next week. All right, guys, it's really going to be an inflation data week. All right, we have CPI on the 14th, and then I think it's Wednesday we have PPI. Yeah, we have PPI on Wednesday. Jobless claims, those come out every Thursday. All right, but it really is just going to be a hey, all right, do we have confirmation that inflation is ticking up again? All right, or did we just have a false uptick in inflation data? All right. That is what CPI and PPI is going to be telling us. If you do see a hot CPI report, I'm just saying, you probably will see a lot more panic. All right, like let's say like on Monday, like let's say we start stalling out on Monday, we just kind of trade flat, and then I mean, either way, guys, you get a hot CPI report, I would honestly just expect it like you were going to tank. All right, that it's just not going to be good. But with how the charts are setting up right now, I have to say right now that I think we're going to get a cool CPI report. I'm not going to say it makes any sense at all. All right, we just got the hot jobs data on Friday, which definitely did attribute to that. All right, I was wondering why we were bouncing off of that, but I mean, I'm just going to say the technical setup, at least how I'm seeing it, it is like it's suggesting we're going to be getting at least a small bounce, all right, if not a decent sized bounce before going lower. All right, I do have some spots where we could end up stopping that bounce, so we will review that here. All right. But yeah, something I want to point out here is that we broke down from a head and shoulders formation here. You have that shoulder, you have that, and you have your right shoulder here. You had your breakdown right there. I forgot to call it out. My apologies, guys. I had it on my chart. I just completely forgot to call it out and put a target on the board. All right, the target is 383, though. I understand we're pretty close to that, but if you do end up getting a pullback to this trend line here of the neckline of the head and shoulders, then there you go. You could play that target. There you go. I wouldn't be touching it now. All right, but if you get that pullback, there you go. All right. That is something to know. Which, because it's there, I mean, that is that's a spot we could end up getting some rejection out of. Maybe we end up I mean, that is, as it stands, it's a $9 move to the upside right now. I mean, it's not a feeble move. That is a pretty decent sized move there. All right. Then again, that's nothing compared to 407 to 385. I mean, guys, there you go. It is it's a $20 move right there. All right. But yeah, all right, moving on. I am going to, oh, and I actually do just want to note that the RSI and all of these they're oversold except for QQQ. All right, but I'm going to really show you something on IWM. It's going to be like, holy crap, okay, that's going down. It is going down, okay? But we probably do end up getting that bounce before that, all right? But over here on the RSI, you can see this. All right, this was just the spot where hey, we did get this counter trend rally over there, all right? And it ended up also getting that counter trend bounce right there. All right. But it's just a spot right now with our RSI. We are so like down there. We're close to oversold territory and all the indices. Like this is where you expect your decent sized bounces to come out, your counter trend moves, if not a reversal. All right. And I think it makes absolutely no sense to get the reversal. Means like, yeah, okay, decent sized counter trend move is incoming. But because we came down and broke this low from the other day, yeah, guys, I am looking for a lower high. All right. So I don't know if that's going to be right here at that trend line, all right, and that actually would also align with coming up and back testing the zone we just broke out of, all right. So now you have this right here that we broke down from, all right. So you would break down from that and the head and shoulders neckline, come back up, test both of these, okay. Probably get a wick going up to here, and then you would resume the selling. All right, that is what I honestly do think that is a probable path. I'm not going to say like that's the only path I see right now because we can go higher than that. But I don't expect you to come up here to like say, I mean, you got 40814 up here. I don't expect that to be filled. All right. I think now that we broke down here, all right, I think this coming back up here is off the table, at least in my eyes. Plus, I mean, with everything fundamentally that's going on here, like guys, it's looking rough. All right, guys, we finally have something that is able to cause the capitulation event. Like this is it. Okay, a bank is collapsing. It's the 16th largest bank. I saw a picture on, I think it was Jay Bravo's video, where Bank of America is like not too far behind the losses that the Silicon Valley Bank just had, and they ended up collapsing. All right. And FDIC ended up shutting them down. So I don't think, you know, BAC, they're not going to shut BAC down. I think that's the second largest bank. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the largest bank in the world. I'm not sure. All right. But yeah, guys, what I'm getting at is we have contagion. All right. The first big bank has finally went down. This is like a Lehman style event. All right, that is what's going down right now. I told you guys, like, it is only a matter of time until things start breaking. And I also told you guys, I have no idea when those things are going to happen. All right, I could just tell you they are going to happen at some point the further you go down this road. And even if you stop hiking rates, all they had to do was hold you. And yeah, this was going to happen eventually. Something in the system was going to break. It's exactly what you got going on right now. All right, it's not like this is a small bank. All right, if you have the big guys defaulting like this, what's going to happen with the small guys? Okay, it's going to be contagion is what I'm getting at. All right, and it doesn't have to happen overnight here. All right, but hey, let's say we the market forgets about this for a week, we rally, and then boom, come March 22nd, Jerome reminds everyone, holy crap, guys, no, we are on the brink of collapse right now. There you go, right? And he sparks panic, which I don't think he's going to try and sit there sparking panic, but I actually don't know. I don't know what they're going to do right now, all right? Like, with that going down, because that is only happening because of them hiking rates. That's what's producing this whole problem, all right? And by the way, guys, inverted yield curve. We'll go over what, like, yields are. Someone I know requested that. But inverted yield curve, that is the cause of why that bank just went under, all right, guys? Like, a bank literally just borrows from one end of the yield curve and, like, gives you... You know, then it gives you your gain on the other end, all right? So there's always going to be that slim dollar that the bank could take out of it. Well, guess what? When you have an inverted yield curve, it can't profitably lend, all right? So, like, that's what I'm saying. It was only, like, when that's going on, that's why that leads to market crashes and recessions, all right? Specifically that recession factor, all right? Because the banking system is upside down. That's all an inverted yield curve is. All right, they literally are losing money on loans now. All right, so it's only a matter of time. All right, so yeah, things are so bad, guys, so bad, and I don't know if they can keep raising rates. So that's the tough part to judge on all this. Like, what do they do March 22nd now? Like, we know, like, hey, inflation is ticking back up, but are they gonna completely step off from their battle against inflation here to address that, like, holy crap, our financial system is collapsing? Like, it's happening. So that's, like, the frustrating scenario we find ourselves in. Okay, all right, like, things are really bad either way. They either freaking raise rates to deal with inflation, and those rate hikes literally cause what's going on, the other bad thing to happen, all right? Or they stop the rate hikes to deal with that, and then boom, inflation starts ticking back up again. It's like, guys, we're in a lose-lose situation. We're in a lose-lose-lose situation, and this is so bad. All right, this is not okay. All right, not okay. I guess we could get that out of there. All right, and we can also get that out of there, and now we'll make things all pretty for you guys. There we go. All right, things are really bad is what I'm getting at. All right, but yeah, all the indices did have that increasing sell volume. All right, and something I want to point out here is that in my written update, I told you guys that I didn't think they were going to let real damage happen to this chart yet. I didn't. Okay, it did. Okay, guys, it did. See this close right here? This is the damage that I was speaking of in my written update, all right? The damage is signaling that all of this is a bull trap, okay? All of that was a bull fake, bull trap, whatever you want to call it, okay? This price action that was like, you know, everyone got really freaking bullish about, this candle close underneath it just like confirmed to everyone, any participant, anybody who was watching, they're like, holy crap, no, it's fake. We got confirmation that we're going down. All right, so like again, like this another factor suggesting yes, we're gonna be getting that lower high. I don't know where that lower high is gonna step in here. Maybe you end up pushing up and get the same high. I don't think that's going to happen, okay, with what just got announced, all right? And now I think we very clearly are in the downtrend, okay? And, yeah, I don't think they're going to throw something super confusing. I told you guys not too long ago, yeah, the confusing scenario here would be if you come up and start breaking trends, okay? And then you're trendless, and then we have to sit there waiting again. That would be the most confusing scenario and would frustrate anybody and everyone, all right? But luckily, we don't have that, all right, which is good, okay, which is good, all right. Now, I'm going to show you guys what I want to point out over here on IWM, okay, so IWM has its CCI over here. It's so down bad, guys, so down bad. It hasn't hit it and since right here, all right, so let's just go a little like that, go on to that red line right there, all right, come over here. All right, so it hasn't hit it since it was that candlestick right here, all right, so oh, come back, baby, come back. There we go. All right. So yeah, you had that little pop. Okay. So you hit a low that day. You closed out at we'll say 150. You had a pop up to 153, came down to 148, then had your pop up to 156. Okay. So in the end, you did have that decent sized bounce before going decently lower over here, where you then found support on the 200 of May. All right, but that is not the only thing that is happening here. Okay, we come over to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, and you can also see this RSI down here is at a spot that has not been hit for quite some time. Okay. Now, this is the scary part. This is like literally, this is how you know, like, we are about to see things go down. At least this is what's telling me, like, hey, that we now have a complete possibility. Like, it's likely, all right, in my personal opinion, it's likely that I'm not saying we get a crash, okay, but like things get real tough, real bad. The fact that the IWM RSI, 4-hour RSI, is this oversold shows that you have so much selling pressure that it's related to what was going on over here. You have panic in the streets, okay? So I'm just saying the fact that this just popped up, like literally just popped up, all right? Right as we have a big-ass bank collapsing, right as VIX skyrockets and is up 30% in one day. All right, I understand it didn't close out the day like that, closed under 10%, but it was up 30%. I swear I saw it. All right, guys, it's not all happening for no reason. That's what it's not a coincidence, all right? Over here, you got this bounce, all right? You hit your low of, what was your low that day? All right, let's come over here. Your low that day was about 145. You bounced on up to 154, all right? So like a $9 move from that low. And then boom, you just kept going, all right? So guys, all right, things are about to get rough, all right? Probably they are about to get rough. I can't say with certainty. I can't, all right? Because like all this is me doing is I'm just looking at the history of the charts, okay? But the fact that we saw the CCI so oversold that it hasn't happened since September 8th, 2020, all right, then you also have the 4-hour RSI not being that oversold, except when you started your 2020 sell-off. This was, guys, this was at the very beginning. This was the first week of the sell-off. Guess what, guys? All right, from that low, you went another 30 freaking % here. All right, so This can be real freaking ugly. All right, let's just mark this out again. We'll mark it right there. All right, let's come back over the daily time frame. All right, how long did this really take to literally just collapse? All right, you just kept collapsing. This is what I'm getting at, guys. All right, it was actually this day right here, I believe. All right, yeah, it was this day because we were just looking at that. But from that day, all right, it took 14 trading sessions, guys. This is 3 weeks of trading right here, and you fell 30 more percent over here on IWM since this signal popped up here on the 4-hour RSI, which back then it wasn't a signal. Now this is a signal to me. All right, like, guys, guess what? This doesn't happen. All right, except for that, which was an insane amount of selling pressure and panic that was coming. All right, so that is rough. That is what I'm getting at. That is so rough. All right, nevertheless, we do have IWM back testing its broken trend line right now, and if you guys just want to see that, there comes right to there. All right, and we literally are back testing exactly that. We did end up getting that wick at the end of the day. All right, so yeah, all right, but yeah, this CCI being so oversold over here, like, guys, I'm serious. I am expecting that bounce. All right, the bounce is it's coming. It is coming. Also, you do have your RSI, the daily RSI over here at 30. It's under 30. It's 29.58 right now. All right, now you also come over here to DIA. All right, now DIA is also at the trend line. Okay, it's at its broken trend line, which I should make that trend line better. All right, I should make that a little bit better, make that touch point pretty exact there. Oh, what do we got? What do we got going, guys? What do we got? We got a freaking trendline touch going on. All right, so yes, SPY had some real damage to the chart, but IWM and DIA are still here at its trendline and it's holding, all right? But what I will note is you do have that increasing sell volume on each and every index. All right, which suggests you're going to get the follow through on Monday, all right? Which, like, that, I don't know how that's going to play into all this, right? Because that could just, the 4-hour, like this bullish divergence here, this on DIA, but we also have one here on SPY. We have, I think we have one on QQQ. Now, we don't have QQQ, but we do have this 4-hour RSI divergence, and then we also do have the 1-hour bullish divergences here on QQQ. All right, and SPY. All right, so if we do get that move lower, I mean, I would expect these divergences are going to get taken out. So I don't know. I don't know if you get that move lower. But I guess I got to listen to the charts. Yeah, you're probably going to get that follow through. But like, hey, guys, I'm just saying, my gut is saying, like, hey, yeah, all right. You're about to get that squeeze from here. All right, QQ literally closed out the day right on its gap fill down here. But again, you did have that increasing sell volume. You don't have any divergence popping up here on QQ, but coming back over here to DIA, all right, you're coming back into that trend line literally with a bullish divergence, okay? And any other selling that comes, it's just going to form a deeper bullish divergence. It's going to form a more well-defined bullish divergence here on the CCI, all right? Your stochastic is beginning to cross up, and your RSI, just like IWM, is just above 30, okay? Except our IWM is just under 30, all right? But this is like a spot, guys. This is where you get your decent sized bounces from. This is where you get decent sized counter trend moves, or you get reversals from. So, like, and I don't think it makes sense to have a reversal. So I'm saying, yeah, we're probably going to be getting that, you know, a decent sized counter trend move, but I'm still expecting to come back up and form that lower high. Maybe it's a really freaking feeble move, and maybe you just bounce up $5 here on DIA, come back up here, and you're back off to the races to the downside. Not sure. All right, but we have like a lot suggesting we will be getting that bounce is what I'm getting at. All right, QQ on its gap fill, DIA, IWM back testing the trend lines with DIA's bullish divergence, with IWM's super oversold CCI over negative 330. It just doesn't happen, unheard of. But you did also have this sell volume. All right, this is crazy. Is this like, this is nuts? All right, this is literally it's starting to go crazy, right? We're gonna come over to the SPY, okay? And like, yeah, you got the insane volume there, but if we are right in the storm, okay, guys, if we're in the eye of the storm right now, then we have a lot of volume that is going to be rolling in, and that is just the beginning of it. All right, and that's why I'm saying, like, hey, I'm open to this. I'm open to it. All right, I'm open to this going down, guys. I'll tell you right now, all right? Yeah, I will be looking for put opportunities on this bounce. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, all right? We are now likely right in front of this thing, okay? Like, if it's going to happen, it's like, it's right around the corner, all right? That is just it's literally my opinion. All right, I've been wrong in the past. All right, it doesn't have to happen. All right, but yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense to me that, like, holy crap, things are aligning, and that it's happening. Okay, we just saw the VIX spike. All right, we were wondering why VIX wasn't spiking. Well, guess what? Now we see what was going to cause VIX to spike massively. All right, that was crazy. I saw a tweet. I think I retweeted it earlier this morning, but we saw VIX's largest percent change intraday ever, which that's crazy. Okay, guys, insane panic is in the streets. Okay, so like either this is going, well, I mean, it's probably going to provide a lot of short squeeze fuel, but also it's like I'm gonna say right now, no, puts have like people have reasons to be loading puts right now. All right, that's that. All right, plus you see where SPY and QQ are still, like they're still up here. We have a lot of freaking room to go down, like a lot. All right, SPY is still over. It's $35 off its lows. A lot of money is still to be made here. All right. So yeah. All right. But again, keep in mind that damage was done to the chart. So like, hey, like this whole move here, it really was like everyone knows now. It wasn't a real move. All right, which is like now there's not gonna like that. There's gonna be a lack of buying pressure, is what I'm getting at. Along with obviously every other thing we've mentioned here today. Okay, you got the freaking bank crisis going on. Okay, obviously there's going to be a lack of buying pressure. Especially this, like this is literally just structural damage, guys. It's not okay. It's not good. All right, now something I will say is that Apple is bouncing off its 200 MA. All right, I did end up having that alert there. We will take off that gap. All right, it did end up filling its gap. We did not get any sort of bounce off of there. All right, yeah, let's see what we can see over here on the 4-hour time frame. Over here on largest component of SPY and QQ, we do have a bullish divergence on the stochastic going on right now. All right, yeah, nothing really too important here. All right, but you do have your CCI in oversold territory, which, like, you know, this is the largest component. All right, we are probably going to see some bounces in the CCI like that along the way. All right, yeah. All right, so let's just go over yields real quick. Okay, I'm just gonna explain the basics of a bond. Okay, so we're gonna use this example. Okay, you have this specific bond, and this is how I look at them. Okay, maybe I'm completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure I know how this thing works. Okay, so you got a bond. All right, let's just say you got this bond is capable of yielding $100. All right, so max, that's what it's got. All right, you have one person. Well, that one person holding that bond now gets that $100. Okay, you introduce another person. Now you have two people. Now the yield is only 50. All right, well, you introduce two more people. Now the yield is 25. You introduce 100 people. The yield is going to be $1. The more people that go into that bond and are holding that bond, there you go. You have less of a yield. It gets divided. All right, so when people leave a bond, the yield ends up going up. All right, so what this taking place, this was people leaving bonds. They were rushing over to equities. All right, but now that we have this thing tanking, this is showing us that people are buying into bonds because they're more desirable than the equities. And this is just like, yeah, that is, you had the 1 year was still near 5%. All right. Well, no, it was over 5%. It's still near 5%, even though it's tanked. All right, like tanked massively. All right, and all this is showing you is like, hey, people are now buying these things because the yield is falling. All right, so I hope I did a decent job there of explaining bond yields to you. All right, but that is it. That is why this action is taking place right now. Just thought I'd share that. All right, because you asked. All right, but now looking at the lower time frames are okay. Like I did say, over here on SPY, you do have the 4-hour bullish divergence going on, and your RSI is hinging up in oversold territory. You also do have that bullish divergence on the stochastic right there. All right, over here on QQ though, you do have a bullish divergence here on the RSI. All right, and then you have your CCI and stochastic coming up off of oversold territory. All right, but you come over here to the hourly time frame, and you also do have the bullish divergence there on the RSI and CCI on QQ, and you have the same exact thing going on SPY. All right, let's see what we got going on SPX. We do have a bullish divergence on the hourly RSI down here, and you also have a triple bullish divergence on the CCI. Okay, so I'm just saying, guys, we do have a case for a bounce here, and I do just want to show you guys Bitcoin. Okay, I told you guys that Bitcoin would likely be seeing some buying pressure off the 200 MA. All right, this is just a reaction spot, okay, as it is for pretty much every single stock, guys. This is how people determine this. The simplest definition, I guess we could say, of bull versus bear market. You're above the 200 MA, you're in a bull market. You're under the 200 MA, you're in a bear market. It's also something that's very, that's why you get the close underneath this 200 MA, and like you had that selling. I also told you guys we've been getting that bad data. You get the close under the 200 MA, you could go $10 to $20 lower very quick before getting any decent sized bounce. All right, and that is what we are seeing happen from under the 200 MA, 393 all the way down to 384.46. All right. Actually, no, it was 384.32. So that is taking place. I don't know if they end up bringing you lower from that. But you know, I've shared my thoughts in this video. Like either way, I do think we see a bounce, but I also say it makes perfect sense to see this thing fall off a cliff or like start falling off a cliff. I mean, I guess it's already started, right? But continue falling off a cliff after said bounce is done. And like even over here on SPY, you still have a lot of room to run. And even on the weekly time frame, you also had all of the indices have that increasing sell volume. Like it's looking so rough for you guys. Look at Apple. Okay, again, largest component of SPY and QQ, you have that increasing sell volume. All right, not ideal. All right, DXY did end up starting to tick back up yesterday. All right, I'm guessing that is because of the whole CivB thing. All right, but I don't know. I do not know. I actually will let you guys know right now. So I am starting this audiobook. All right, I've actually started in the past and got probably 20%, 30% through it. I'm re-listening to it. It is Michael Gayed's book, Intermarket Analysis. So I am excited to, finally, like, hey, you have a place where you now can go and learn I've had this place I could go and learn. I've just been lazy and haven't wanted to look at it. But you know what? I want to understand how everything in the system works, all right? And I know for a fact that guy understands how everything in the system works. So, yeah, your boy not only is going to be technically stacked, but he will also be fundamentally stacked. So I'm excited about that one. But that will give me a bunch of insights into, yeah, how all these things work together. And I will be able to bring that to you guys here on the channel. But yeah, as of right now, guys, I'm looking for that bounce, but I am also looking for that short opportunity, okay? We have contagion at our doorstep, and it is likely going to, it's going to get everything sick, all right? Like I said in the beginning of the video, guys, you have the big banks going right now. What do you think's happening with these small banks? It's not good, all right? It can't be good. So there's that. All right, but I guess that is the video. I do expect to be getting that bounce, and we actually can check out ES real quick. I'm going to show you guys. We did end up having that close underneath this zone, which is said like, hey, you get that close underneath, and you're probably going to come down and visit this zone over here. I don't know if you do end up doing that, all right? I don't know, all right? But that would mean on SPY, we're going $5, $10 lower before getting that bounce, all right? Just like SPY, though, you did get that close underneath your trend line. Again, structural damage. QQQ is still very far away from its trend line. But hey, all right, once we get down there, that probably will also be a reaction spot that we can watch. So we will be waiting to see that. All right, guys, that is the video. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. If you guys enjoyed or found value in this content, then please support the channel with a like. That is the best way you can support me. And yeah, with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.